Are you always expecting the worst in a scenario? Would you like to be more optimistic? There's two main concepts here: learned helplessness and learned optimism. Well, the thing is, by default, we're generally in the learned helplessness. We either do this because we've grown up in a negative environment, or we learn that if we're negative or helpless, we'll get help and therefore we don't have to do it ourselves. There's lots of reasons, but it's mostly to protect ourselves as the core. So the issue is you've really bought into the BS, the story that you tell yourself. It's helpless. There's three P's that you can really know why you're in that scenario, or can identify that you are in that scenario. One is permanence, the belief that things just cannot change. Have you ever heard the statement, it's always going to be that way? So the idea is it never can change, right? That's just how it is. Or using the phrase, it is what it is, or that's just how it is, or that's life. That's the phrase of permanence, that it's not going to change. Then we have persuasive, that, oh, well, this sucks, so that everything must suck. Or this portion of my life is negative or bad, so all parts of my life are going to be negative or bad. It's applying the little instance of pain to everything. And then personal. This is where you start translating it into yourself. This is where, oh, I guess something is wrong with me. I don't have success, therefore I'm not a good enough person. Or, bad day at the job, oh, I must not be good enough for that job. So where you're turning the negativity from an outward perspective to an inward perspective. So if any of those three P's are happening to you, maybe all of them, let's learn helplessness. The really cool thing is we can change that. There's the concept of learn optimism. So instead of learning the negativity side, we learn the positive side. So think back to a very positive relationship. At the start, you were probably willing to do anything for that person. Everything is bright, everything is shiny. You'll do absolutely anything to make the other person happy. That's something that you can remember and attach to, because what is that really? It's just love, it's positivity, it's hope, it's the belief that it's going to be good. So think about what you can get versus what you can give. Things start going sometimes to the negative side when we start only thinking about the things that we can get. It's okay to be a little bit selfish, but there's a point where it turns into something negative. If we think in terms of what we can give, we're almost always going to get something back. So the benefit is we're also helping somebody else while helping ourselves. And that really creates a sense of optimism because it shifts the mindset. Because to help other people, we have to take care of ourselves. So the more people we can help, the better we're helping ourselves in turn. So it's a really kind of a neat concept. And then the belief that everything is a gift. If we think in terms of time is precious, our time on this earth is limited, so every waking moment is an opportunity for positivity, an opportunity for change, an opportunity for creating something wonderful. And if you think in those terms, even though something negative may happen, we can find the positivity within it and use that to our advantage. Think about a really negative experience for a second. You could use the terms, that was the worst experience ever. Oh, that pissed me off. I'm so angry. I'm mad as hell. Which is, what is that doing? It's basically telling your brain, telling your nervous system, I need to feel angry now. I need to feel very bad. This is pissing me off. This is that. Which creates all this negativity within inside you. So flip the verbiage around. That was inconvenient. Let me fix it. Right? So lessening the pain by changing the word to inconvenient, and then adding the let's fix it, adding the optimism for the future. Because if it's fixable, it's not so bad. So little tweaks in verbiage really make a big difference on our system and the way we think. So we can use language to move ourselves from that learned helplessness to that learned optimism. There's a phrase, watch your TV. TV stands for transformational vocabulary. So this is that kind of that language that we were speaking about earlier. Things like I'm nervous to I'm excited. The cool thing is nervousness, that kind of butterflies in the tummy, really, what is the difference between I'm nervous versus I'm excited? They're basically the same thing because the feeling's the same. The only real difference is what labels we're attaching it to. So, is it learned helplessness or learned optimism? Pain versus I'm growing, or I'm in pain versus I'm growing, or I'm overwhelmed versus I'm maximized. The difference is your plate's still full in overwhelmed versus maximized. The difference is, oh my God, the next thing on my plate is going to break the plate versus the next thing on my plate, I'm going to just need to take something off of it. So same scenario, two different ways of looking at it. So we may always make up these labels that can either be helpful or not helpful. And it's really up to us to decide. Do we want to be stuck in that negativity cycle, or do we want to break out of it and be better, grow, and succeed where others don't because they don't have the language, they don't have the mindset? The game is 80% psychological, 20% skill. So if we boost our psychology, we can boost our success with it as well. So I just spent 7 days learning about all this stuff from a great mentor, Tony Robbins. It's just how to improve every facet of life. And I took a ton of notes, and today's a little example of those notes. If you'd like to discuss those notes or maybe want a copy of my notes, feel free to reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to share that. Otherwise, I'm just super excited about all this and want to help you guys. So send me a message. See you guys later.